Hello gamers! Ignore the back screen if you can. We're gonna play some more armor today. Specifically, we're gonna start with Blue Dragon's Armored. And someone has asked about the deck last time. And just before we get into the game, I briefly want to talk about the non-Leon Chicky. Almost every time this unit, is played or seen, I bring it up. But it doesn't hurt to do it again. Hello Gavin, how's it going? And it's specifically about its loading mechanism. Because out of the armory. Because there's always people who aren't aware of that, right? And which is perfectly fine. And that's why I keep bringing it up. You might look at these tanks and be like, well, I mean, ignoring the heat. Like, you know what? We might as well just look at the kinetic one, right? You have kinetic gun. Yeah, they're relatively similar. You might look at these and be like, the gun is pretty much the same, right? Sure, the non-even Chiki has 5% better stabilizer. Sure, the level 25 has 2 additional rounds, but other than that, they're exactly the same, right? No, they're not! And the reason for that is it's not manually loaded. Well, not fully. The gun on the non-even Chiki, that is, right? If you look at the leopard one, any leopard one, it doesn't really matter. You will see this 10 RPM. Shot reload, they have no shot reload because they have only a salvo length of 1 and a salvo reload of 6, meaning they shoot once and then they reload their salvo. Salvo reload is affected by morale in a negative way. Shot reload isn't, right? That's the same with any infantry, like an MG, like Motostrike, or a primary weapon, right? MGs have a salvo length of 10, right? And a shot reload of 1, meaning that even if they're panicked, those 10 shots get fired at the exact same rate of fire, only these 5 seconds are affected by morale. Now, the Nanion Shiki, actually, no, this is the Nanion Shiki, has a salvo length of 4, with a shot reload of 4 seconds, and a salvo reload of 12 seconds. So it's gonna shoot 4 shots with 4 seconds in between, and then it has to reload for 12 seconds. So it has a pretty good burst damage, but after that burst is over, it has to reload for a much longer time than the Leopard 105 would have to, after each individual shot, right? Though in the majority of scenarios, that's an advantage. In fact, it's almost... I can't really think of a scenario, like a realistic scenario, where it's actually a disadvantage. Where is the deck? Because, it has higher burst damage, and yet over a longer period of time, it still has the same RPM, right? Over a whole minute. So it's not like there's a downside to it. A real downside. Of course, there might be like some very niche scenarios where you might prefer having a slightly longer reload time so that, automatic targeting when you're not paying attention, someone else kills the unit you're already shooting at and then you re-aim at a different target, blah, 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 blah. But realistically speaking, hello, Philip, and hello... I don't know how to pronounce your name. It ends with Slav, so there you go. Guten Abend is German for good evening, yes. Actually, I haven't touched the deck in a while. I'm not 100% certain why I put in these instead of the M67s, but if I had to guess, it's probably so I have some infantry with reasonable short range AT. Otherwise, I'd have nothing above 16, and even then, those 16 had pretty low range and pretty low accuracy, so that's probably the reason why I put in the Xiaoju Buntai? I have no idea. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm sorry. And the IV, of course, is pretty decent. Good armor, good autocannon. An acceptable AT gem. How is actually... It's 17 AP. Right? Which is the same as the Malyutka P1. But I am curious about the speed. of the missile. Yeah, it's pretty low, the speed. 500 acceleration, which is also the starting speed, I believe. And then the maximum speed of 600. It's gonna reach the maximum speed pretty quickly, and the maximum speed is not very high. If we look at the PvP M80A1, what do we have? Yeah, better maximum speed. Now, they're both pretty rare, those 80 gems, but it's still worth pointing out. Oh yeah, like the combination with the Recon rifle is very good. I think in the majority of cases I would run that combination, but I think in this specific scenario, given the rest of my infantry tab, which I do not want to switch, which I could, maybe should, maybe I should replace these guys now that I think about it. Yeah, maybe I should replace these guys. Hold on, where's the deck? I'm gonna put in a card of these bad boys. I should run. Okay, here's the question: should I run these guys with Hachiki Shiki, and then yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna run these guys up down with it even because it's pretty cheap. Then I'm gonna do it like this. Why am I doing it like this and not running the Han and the Hachiki Shiki? These guys in Hachiki Shiki. I could of course run these guys in Hachiki Shiki, and then these guys in the 5-pointer still, or these guys in the KFV. But I think I actually prefer this way. The Rico's Rifle is the same. Hans, I'd argue, are a bit better than Yixa Huagiban, because Bad Rifle is generally preferable. But on a squad like this, it doesn't really matter that much, the primary weapon. But I think I'd rather have them be spammable. Ah, yeah, nice features. Thanks for reminding me that this is still up. It doesn't matter too much. There was no crucial information I left. I mean, it's not as bad as the one time where was it? I don't remember if I was. I think I was recording a cast. Maybe I was either recording a cast or recording a live gameplay, tournament gameplay. And I don't know for how long. It might have even been the full video. I don't think it was a full video, but for quite a while, I had just the whole screen. Am I in queue? I am. I had like the whole screen locked with the deck. It was amazing. Yeah, it was me, not Fireside, I think. Uh, you like the Japanese 5-pointer? I mean, yeah, it has 2 MGs, but having more armor is definitely better. And plus, the Korean one also has 2 MGs, right? It's just almost objectively better. Almost, because the M60 doesn't have a turret, I think. It looks like it, but I think it can only shoot forward, if I'm not mistaken. And the Nana-san Shiki, yeah, the M60 does have a stabilizer as well. But other than that, the K200 is basically better. It has half the M2 ammo, but that's so rarely does that come into effect on a vehicle like this. And having 2 versus 1 armor is just such a huge difference. It is monumental. Which is kind of messed up, honestly, but it is what it is. Why am I having such bad luck with ranked games recently? So many people online, so many running ranked games, but I just... Last time as well. Taking ages to find a ranked game. And I'm queuing at a reasonable time when it comes to like peak player base. You could consider taking the 50-point line of Infantry. I mean, of course, it'd be an alright option in the deck. I wouldn't rely too much. I don't rely too much on infantry anyway. Blue Dragons generally doesn't as much, but Blue Dragons Armored specifically, when it comes to like killing stuff, doesn't rely on infantry too much because all they get is line infantry, right? They don't get a Habyong, they don't get a Tokyonsa, which are the prime infantry killers in these decks. And prime infantry-based infantry killers. So if you want like a reasonable AT at an okay price, sure, it's an option. But I think given that it's relatively niche that you truly have to rely on like M2s, it's not really too big of a deal, honestly. It's not really a bad card, but I don't see myself needing it. But maybe I'll eat my words. Right, Japan Armored for those 6 Q armors, right? It's, yeah, not a huge fan. Armored, funnily enough, I would argue that Armored might be the deck that relies the most on infantry. Maybe I'm gonna eat my words, but I feel like they rely on it more than other decks. Because, well, many armor decks. Not all of them necessarily. It depends on what decks you have available, of course. But because you have like so much weaker recon tabs and other tabs, you can't rely on helicopters really a whole lot most of the times, right? Infantry is just your go-to meat shield and essentially scout even. Because tanks is really what your whole game plan revolves around, and you need infantry to keep your tanks alive. Now, maybe saying it's the deck that relies on it the most might be like a hot take that is also just straight up wrong. Maybe I'm just saying it to sound controversial, but at the very least, I would definitely say that it is underrated just how much they rely on infantry. It's maybe a better way to put it. Not having shocks in an armor deck is a bummer. Honestly, I think if I had to choose between shocks and good meat shield infantry, and with good meat shield infantry, I either mean reservists come in a 5-point reservists come in a 5-point transports, or 10-point line infantry that come in a 2+ front armor 5-pointer. Either of those options I would classify as good meat shields. If I had to choose between good meat shields and shock infantry, I would almost always go for good meat shields instead. Because they're more important. And the other thing I'd also prefer over shocks is, although fairly frequently they come with shocks, is good infantry-based AT. Meaning Panzergrenadier 90s, which are shock, Proletariat 90, which are shock, Fusilier 90s. I mean, very often they come on shock or elite infantry, and it's a rarity to have line infantry with very good AT. Like you have like UK, and let's really say very good, not just mid tier. There's UK. There is South Africa. Arguably USSR, but I think those are the only 3 decks where I would say that they have online infantry, they have good infantry-based AT. And even one of the Strike is honestly kind of a stretch because of their low range. But Bokop 90 are very good, Fusilier 90s are very good when it comes to that. But I think that's basically it. Everything else is on like shocks or elites. Or like, something like Gono Strikey 90s don't really count. Just 35, I would classify them as mid tier, not like high tier. It's a fairly arbitrary classification, I suppose. Sad thing about live stream, no skipped waiting time in queue. Okay. What? That's a lot of ranked games. Okay. Can someone tell me what this name means? As long as it's like not an insult or slur or some shit. Want to see some UK armor at some point? Of course you do. Of course. With all the pocket. I can't even do like a insulting British accent. Pocket heavies. Pocket heavies. The boxing again. It means Putin has a small cock. Nice. Every rank is set fast, no wonder he has so many. Yeah, but he's still major with like almost 50% win rate, so I don't know what that was about. Maybe they maybe they wanted to queue up with someone else and accidentally got me. Like they wanted to shredder box someone else. Who knows? I'm not going for Type 73. Actually, I am going for the upper card. I didn't even mention it. Yes, I do have 2 cards of Nani and Shiki heat guns. Jäger are a lot worse in comparison. I wouldn't necessarily say that. If you talk purely about infantry, they're only really worse in comparison when you take their transports into account. Chasseur 85 have both a good 5-pointer and a reasonable 15-point IV. Chasseur have neither. They have a relatively okay 10-pointer, but on line infantry that doesn't have like something special, I guess, about them. Basic 10-point is not a good choice. Like Fusilier 90s or something is a different story, for example. But Jäger, they're just in an awkward position where they're not quite good enough for 15 points and way too good for 10 points. I think in an ideal scenario, they'd have like a decent 5-pointer. Like an M113A3 or what have you, right? Or which I guess is a top tier 5-pointer, but a good 5-pointer, which wouldn't be as big of an issue because the Jäger are 15 points, right? Good 5-pointers are mainly an issue on 5-point reservists and 10-point line infantry, but on a 15-point line infantry squad that doesn't have like a law 80 or something and an MG3, like a good 5-pointer wouldn't be a huge issue in my eyes. And I think a good 5-pointer would bring them back into play. Because then it'd be like in an interesting pseudo niche, but having only 1 armor, it's not so much about like the fire support as the meat shields as it is for your 10-point and 5-point infantry. It's more about getting, for what they do, relatively expensive infantry. Again, for what they do, they're still like the 3rd cheapest infantry you can have, obviously. But for what they do, being line infantry with like just enough AP to one-shot 2 armor and nothing higher. Getting 2 armor means, or having 2 armor would mean getting closer to the front line or closer to safety, forests or any kind of cover, a lot more often and a lot more safely, right? You will either just, your 5-pointer will not get destroyed and, arrive there with like 2 HP before you unload them, which is good. Or it means that your opponent needs more shots to kill your 1 5-pointer while the other one gets there alive and safely, etc., etc. I think that's what they would need. Generally, I'm not really a huge fan these days of handing out even more 5-pointers that are good and have more than 1 armor. To light infantry specifically. But I think in this case, it would actually be a really, really good addition. Either that or just nerf their AT to bring them down to 10 points. But I prefer the other option. That would make them like somewhat unique-ish. Like it's not really crazy out of the box what they would be, but I think it would put them in a good place. Thoughts on Lorenzo? Not a fan. I've used it not too long ago on a stream, I think. It's fine and all. It has acceptable range with heat. It fires in a salvo of 2, of course, but has poor autonomy, poor speed, 1 armor. It has a good AG with 3, right, which is great. But not a huge fan. I'd prefer the M36. Because the M36, while it also, has horrible autonomy and is even slower, it has 2 front armor, it has better range, it has kinetic, which I generally prefer in a vehicle like that, because you're not gonna really be able to like meme with heat on heavy tanks or something like that. Not with this vehicle, right? It's just rarely gonna happen. So I'd much rather have kinetic, so at closer ranges I can really hurt IVs as well. Although admittedly 15 AP is quite high. So maybe 15 AP versus 8 kinetic 15 heat versus 8 kinetic. Maybe I would actually prefer heat now that I think about it. You still have 3 HE, but specifically the range and extra survivability for a cheaper price is much better, right? For 2 Rensos, you get 3 M36s, which have, over a whole minute, a higher rate of fire, but also a higher burst damage, right? 3 of them immediately shoot at a high earlier as well, with better accuracy. Although, if I had to guess, lower splash. Because splash is generally affected by caliber, and that caliber on the Renzo is higher. So let's take a look. Renzo has a splash damage, so radius, sorry, not damage, radius of 40 and 132. 40 for the actual damage and 132 for the suppression. Of course, the further you get away from the center of the impact, you take less damage. An M36 does in fact have a lower splash radius, but it does have higher accuracy and a higher base range, so at the same range, the M36 gets an additional accuracy boost, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, TLDR, I prefer the M36. I mean, Pentagrams were even worse when they were 15 points, right? 15 point OP MG3 shocks. Crazy. We got a private. Oh my, what is it today? We got Healer Rush, of course. I never realized that when you zoom in, the background noise gets muted, right? Like pure silence in the background, and now I'm zooming out. I never noticed it, or I never paid attention to that. Anyway. Right, our tank CV actually is cheaper, just like with Scandi Armored, than our IV CV, if that's what we want to call it. Definitely want to start with one of those. Actually, 2. It's not a tank, that's why. Yeah, I mean, you want to fight over this open field with the Kiyomaru. Generally, I'm not a fan of fighting over this area with the Super Heavy here in the opener. But given that we're playing against a private who might or might not heal rush us, I'm gonna start with my focus on this area so that I can essentially intercept helicopters that might just rush through here. Get a Kiyomaru, some Spags, more Recon Infantry. The only reason why I have this in the deck because I had got nothing else to put in. It's not a good card. Like a KAFE here. Get a bunch of spam. Two of these bad boys there. KFV. And more spam. Not having tandem shot arrow is pretty painful. Anti-air is not particularly comfortable in this deck. Although being able to put in Mistrals is very, very good. Very good manpads. Hawkwhip 2 also can sometimes help with anti-helicopters. And honestly, I'm not sure if I really miss the Tansam. Because just anecdotally, the Tansam is just very frustrating. It is a very good unit, but it's also a frustrating unit. Blue Dragon, worst coalition after Red Dragons. From a 1 versus 1 perspective, I would say no. I would say that's probably still Commonwealth. Team game, different story. I think in team game, Commonwealth shines more. In 1 versus 1s, I would say Commonwealth is the second worst. I think. Blue Dragons, I don't wanna... I'm not the best 1 versus 1 Blue Dragons player. I'm not cancerous enough, if you will. I'm not someone who just Because to get the best or the most out of Blue Dragons, you really want to abuse Ninja and Peace Fasten combos and stuff like that. And I'm just not the type of player who does, like, who likes that playstyle, so I don't do that very much. But I think depending on if the situation allows it, of course, you really want to abuse that a lot. And in general, I'm not the best player, and it's not a playstyle that I enjoy, which is partially probably the reason why I'm not like a very good plane player. And Blue Dragons, they have like very one-dimensional planes, with the exception of the Block 52D, but they can be very, very strong and very snowbally, specifically when you get them at like Paddy Field, Mud Fight. F-15J is better now, it's not as veteran and cheaper. I think it's fine. Generally, or like I would say that the KF-16C is better than the F-15J, but the reason why I have it in my deck is so that I have a plane with SRAMs, right? Otherwise, I have no short range missiles on anything, on any of my planes. Is it me or is this game a bit loud? The game's a bit loud, is it not? Voice, it's 100%. Why is it 100%? I don't have a man-pet squad here, do I? Okay, who was I? Is it balanced? I think it's balanced. I didn't even give my units proper orders here. It used to be hardened and 145, yeah. Like, the 5-point buff, not a huge deal. The change to hardened, definitely. Definitely noticeable. I told you to like drive back there. I guess I pressed shift before I did that, so. What? Oh, that's my mortar. I was like, what is that? That's not a spag. Spetsnaz, there's 2 Spetsnaz squads there. Dropped in a hind. Alright then. You definitely do not see that very often. The only good air they have is Laser Guard Bone Plane and the cheap Family Gem Plane. Which deck are you talking about? Blue Dragons do not have a laser guided bomb plane. I'm unsure what you're referring to. Are you talking about a different deck? I lost all my OH6 helicopters. F1! I'm actually stupid! Never mind, you're right! Oh, Razzmann, fake Wargame player confirmed. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Holy moly. Oh, man. That's embarrassing, yeah. Those are BMP ones. That's Tunguska. Oh no, I do have an OH6 still here. I wonder if I'm gonna get sighted by a tank now. Mortar. F1 sucks. Nah, F1 is okay. It's pretty decent, I'd say, even. Someone tell me what tier I put it in my tier list. Oh, I spotted the farm. Oh, poor guy. You called yourself an F1 fan. Those are MTLBBs. Or MTLBs. MTLBB. B. I don't know. Oh, is it an MI8? It's an MI4. Lot of ATGMs coming in here. Gotta be careful, it's a lot of heat. Literally. Coming at me. Get it? Get it? I made a joke. Oh, that's oh, between is an M. That's one I haven't seen in quite a while. Yeah, he got fucked by smoke. Even if you have line of sight, if the plane still needs to have its own direct line of sight through the smoke. It doesn't go for like buildings or forests, but it goes for smoke for some reason. It's really annoying. Let's say even if I'm sitting in like a very deep smoke cloud and you have an infantry squad right next to it, spot on my Q-Maru, the plane will not be able to shoot its missiles, I think. I'm pretty certain. There might be some weird angles where sometimes it might work, but it's very fuckery. Is this the starter deck? I don't think so. This looks like mech to me. And the starter deck is either unspec. Well, when it comes to Soviets, it's unspec. There's of course red, like what, red armored 80s or something. Electricity rest, some starter deck changes. I've done it before. It's just not fun. Like if you want to see me suffer, okay, fair enough. But it's not fun and it's not interesting to watch in my eyes. I mean, it could be unspec, right? Doesn't have to be a spec deck. Well, let's see. We have Modus Recon in BMP1, Conqueror's M and a 5-pointer. Sapere. Okay, we've seen I think 4 different infantry cards thus far, so it could still be unspec. But BTR2 is armored as well, I'm fairly certain. It can't be armored because Betsons aren't there. So if it's a spec, I think it has to be mech. Either that or unspec. Right, well, these guys are spotted. Oh, that's fine. Those are Spetsnaz. Rip my OH6. Is fully rest to play this using the art deck next match? No. I'll play armored only for today. It didn't really do any damage, I think. Yeah. Just get fast moving. Do you have 2 side armor? You do. And rip Spetsnaz. Gansky. Gotta be careful with Skimmer. Okay, there's a bunch of ATGMs in there. What do you have in terms of artillery? Canine Thunder, sure. Definitely should have put in the other idea, the 60-point. What's the? It's not 203mm. It's like 190mm. It's a 9HE 2-round or 8-round or 4-round or something. Self-propelled gun, exclusive to Blue Dragons. I think. Isn't there? I think there's one more that gets them, isn't there? Like the KM107s, M107s, I suppose that's right. Another deck that gets those M107s? I find them more fun to use than 203 SPs or what have you, because it's unique-ish, right? It's good availability, 9 HE, pretty high dispersion, which is honestly, I would say, a good thing, because keep in mind, supply cost of artillery is directly affected by the, oh my god, by the dispersion of it. Wait, do you have 2 from that? Oh, you do. Directly affected by the dispersion. So low dispersion means a cheaper supply or lower supply cost, which means you can fire for more or more rounds for the same supply. And since you get so many of them, right, you can really keep like a reasonably big chunk of forest like quite pinned down. Of course, it's gonna cost you getting all these artillery point units, right? They're 60 points a pop. I mean, yeah, the 203 is the Japanese M110, but that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the South Korean KM107, which is a Korean M107, I presume. If I had to guess, I'd say that the M107 is like a predecessor to the M110, or the side grade, or successor even, probably not. But you know, given the similar naming scheme, etc., etc. Why even M110? Is that like some kind of it's like 110 imperial whatever units that is equal to 203 millimeters, and then 107 is equal to whatever the. I wouldn't know, man. Someone tell me why it's called M110. North Korea gets the Coxswain, yeah. Which is also 9 HE, but also a lot more expensive. It's honestly more like a worse Malka or Divonka, what have you. The K107 is 60 points. It's also 9 HE. It's just the US likes army likes everyone to won in every game scheme. Yeah, I've heard that before. We're in like a bunch of like different like World War II. Like there's like the M1 gun as well, right? The AT gun from World War II. I think it's a better Recon in here. Netherlands also gets it. I knew it. I knew there was another deck that gets it, but I didn't remember which one. I was like, it can't be Anzac because they're not really use it in Commonwealth a lot. And I was like, was it maybe a DLC deck? But I was only thinking of South Africa. I completely forgot about Netherlands. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry about the boring ass gameplay. Keep this smoked off. I said it was an Canadian and Thunder. Looks like a T62 or whatever in there. M107 might be decent in DGC. Let's see. I mean, I don't play a whole lot of DGZ. And I think it's a type. Given that you have the Tiger, you probably want to run with the Pop. I mean, you get the M109, which is pretty decent. M110s, of course, are okay. I do like running the Lars too. I really got a sweet soft spot for it, I gotta admit. Oh, is that Seed? Oh, it is Seed. Well, sucks to be me. Oh. Not my spec! I got lucky. Those are elite, right? No! Let's tank it. You're a tank. Oh, I'm actually in gun range now. Like, gun penetration range, if you will. Let's hope that's not a VTV squad. Oh no, it can't be. It's mech. those conquerors missed. Probably because the K9's actually putting them down pretty well. Chinese BM24. BM24 is amazing. It is a ridiculously good unit. And if it was in like any other good deck that it maybe isn't Commonwealth, I'd say it should get nerfed. And quote unquote, objectively speaking, if you only take a look at the unit itself and not where it's in, I would definitely say it deserves a nerf. But given that, you know, we don't really have constant patches or something, we didn't really, when we were helping out with the South Africa balance patch, none of us were really like, oh yeah, it should get nerfed, because frankly it's only really used in Red Dragons, and Red Dragons need all the help they can get. Plus it's unique-ish, right? It's a cheap, long aim time, short range, but high HE. Oh god. MLRS. There isn't really anything like it in the game. I guess except for all the other BM24s, but they're all napalm, which is good, because it means they're trash. I mean, it's not the objectively worst deck. There's worse decks, but it's the worst coalition, I would definitely say. Feels very communisty. MX NFC 30 points again. I agree. Oh, I missed. 2 out of 3 shots. And so did the SC-24, so can't really complain, can I? Look at those Yabi guns. You know what's nice about the Yabi gun? The bazooka, it looks trash, but actually it's pretty good suppression. Look at how they're all panicked. How much AP do we have? 13. I get side shot? How did I get one shot by a Manuka? I guess it must have been damaged. Yeah, this has to be mech. Maybe it's like Cat B mech? I've seen like T62 MV1s, they're 89. Monostrike 90, they're 88. Spetsnaz, oh, they're elite. It's like an 85 deck. MiG-27M. No BMP3s, as someone said. Oh shit, am I gonna bomb my own Yabi gun because I expected those betas to be in there by now? I totally am. No, you can't get 90s infantry in Cat B if the year is 1988, right? All it depends on, the name doesn't have to mean anything. All you gotta look for is the introduction year. That's the only thing that matters. I mean, technically, I'm pretty sure you can set the year to whatever. All you have to do is just essentially give the unit a check mark whether they're available in Cat B or C. I don't think Cat B or C specifically checks the value of the year, unless I'm mistaken. But you totally can them in Cat B. Oh wait, you're right! I'm stupid! I'm so stupid! No, you're right, you're right. Cat B isn't pre-90s, Cat B is pre-85. I don't know why I thought it's pre-90s. I am wrong. Hold on. Stan is wrong song.
Look, I'm not gonna do it! I'm Stan and I was wrong. I'm singing the Stan wrong song.
See, there you go. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Blue Dragon says no, laser guided bomb planes. You can't get Monosreki 9 in Cappy. Look at me, I'm Razzmann. Alright. Do I have Commonwealth armored? I do. Ah, yes, M41 spam. Let's see. You know what? To get like a bit of not fresh air, but fresh feeling for it. Let's delete it and build it anew. Sometimes you get like new ideas when you do that. Yeah, villain, nice. I was hoping you'd be here to listen to that. Alright, come on, armored. Get my pocket heavies. I don't want to run 3 cards of CVs. But if I want to tanks, do I dare run a Jeep CV? I might actually do it, and I hate myself for it. I might actually do it. But before we do, I was talking about an artillery piece. That's the one. Right? 9 HE. Do I have the armor tool? I still have it open, right? No, I almost shared my Discord. Jesus, what would I even open there? Oh, nothing important, thank God. There we go. Let me, just let me delete this from my OBS. There it is. All right. M107. 45.5 supply per shot. And then let's look at an M110. A2 113. Basic 188, right? Half the supply of a normal M110. Almost a third of an M110 A2, right? Coupled with... Where's Blue Dragons? No, not 80s. Coupled with... you get 4 of these, like 3 base, 2 upweighted. Or 7 of these bad boys, right? That's why I love them. Oh, anyway, enough of that. Oh yeah, and compared to the Coxswain, like this is 100 points, right? This is just insulting. It's more accurate than a peon, but given that it's more accurate, it might not actually be that much worse. But I just don't like it out of principle. This is that's the whole thing. All right. Yeah, I might actually run Jeep CV. Go on, call me hypocrite for running a Jeep CV. Let's get it out. All right, infantry. I might actually do infantry last. Let me just fill it so I have the activation points. If you're running a fob, we want artillery. Otherwise, you're not really gonna make use of a fob. We could spam M109s. We could spam M110s. Or not spam, but use M110s. Either of which really are fine. Oh no, I know it. Yes, of course, the M108. And then we don't need the fob if you run those. They come with plenty of ammo. I forgot about these bad boys. I love them. I might even run a base tracked rapier. It's actually pretty good for 40 points. Stormer, I mean, I feel like you gotta run it, but it never blows me away for some reason. But I feel like it's less an issue with the Stormer, more an issue with me and the rest of Commonwealth. I'm not gonna run the ADATs. I'm sorry. I know everybody loves the ADATs, but no. For 10 points more, definitely think it's worth running the Mark II. Maxus is a must. Honestly, these M41s have always disappointed me recently. What do we want to run? Scorpion 90 could be fun, but 30 points, 2 armor. It does have the medium optics. Eat spam. Has pretty good range. If it had 3 HE, I'd honestly consider it. Chieftain Mark 5. I mean, it's a reasonable tank. Did I run the Centurion spam deck? Let's give it a shot. Those used to be 15 points with 8 armor. Pretty busted. Recon, as is Commonwealth fashion, is just trash. So this is gonna be my setup. I could, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. I've seen Crot, I think, recently play UK Armored and spam these bad boys, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this can actually work. You know, maybe I'm just gonna go full on score, full on FV10X build. I've gone mad. Aviary is nice. Chimera is not really needed. Wait, there it is. Remember when my Moderna got just absolutely destroyed in a tactical by this bad boy? That was pretty fun, not gonna lie. Alright. I mean, F111C is so good, there's no way you could pass up on that. I do love me the Jaguar GR1. GR7 is really nice because it's got the SRAMs too. ASF wise, maybe I'm just gonna run a single Eurofighter. I feel spicy today. And we have 2 activation points left, which means we can run a 4 logistics card thing. Oh yeah, and let's not forget about the infantry tab. 4 logistics. 4 cards of logistics, which I like. Alright, infantry. Infantry. Generally, I really like running manpads, but given that we have the tractor able, which is cheap and plentiful, I don't think we need manpads. Worry Milan is a meme. I'm not gonna run it. Fusilier 90s is always nice to have. Although yeah, they're fine. This is always a card where I'm like, is this actually a good combination? My main issue is the availability on that thing. I feel like Eric's could be fun, but they got a bad 5-pointer, and I hate that. Commandos 90, they're very nice. I feel like reservists are good. Worry Milan is actually good versus light vehicle spam. I got plenty of cheap tanks that are good versus light vehicle spam. I don't think I need a Worry Milan. Tornadoes, ASF. I always run the Tornado. I'm gonna run something else today. Razzmann is going insane. Oh, I know. I don't think we need Pioneers. Got Commandos 90, which are great at town fighting. What do we have for base defense, right? I guess we got Scimitars, which would be pretty respectable at base defense. Not amazing, but respectable. I don't think I really need TH495s. I mean, like 2 cards of Commandos 90, and then a card of Milans? It's absolutely disgusting. Every single transport has 1 front armor, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. With everything in my body tells me to, no, Razzmann, don't do it. But here I am. Here I am doing it. That's this disgusting deck. Alright, you got 1 card of Canadian Rifles for the APC IFV? Nah, I don't. I don't actually. Believe it or not, I don't. This is an absolutely dirty deck, and I need Colonel Talbot's reaction to that. Talbot, where is mi amico? Buongiorno, mi amico. Oh, what is an Italian in chat? What does I've created? Ho creato un deck della Commonwealth. Oh, horrible. Also, I wrote buongiorno in 2 words. It's also wrong, I'm fairly certain. Ho creato un mazzo del Commonwealth. Ah, whatever, it's too late. Oh, of course it's not Della, because Commonwealth is not female, right? Della is like for when the noun is feminine, not female, feminine. Sorry. Might as well go UK and get the extra units. Not really worth it anymore since the Jelly who got nerfed to 2 per card again, which it deservedly should be. The only real reason, you know, okay, I'll take that a bit back. The extra scimitars, depending on how much we use them, might actually be nice. And do you get 5 tornado GR1s? You should. I'm fairly certain. So, maybe. But M108 is cool. Commandos are cool. Maxas is cool. Centurions might be cool. F111C is cool. The other thing is, what do we really get? Sure, we get more units, but I don't think that's generally not what a deck like this really needs. The main advantage would be a 5th plane card. We could put in Seed, and instead of the F111C, also put in, I don't know, another ASF. Sure, that could be worth it. But I don't think it is worth it. Commandos 90 are really, really good. Why 40 Centurion Mark 5? Because 20 is too few. Oh, hold on. I didn't upfit them. What am I doing? Oh no, I did. What? Oh, these are 18. Yeah. For some reason, they're like both worse and have worse availability. Like, you don't get a 50 cal on them, and they have worse availability for some reason. 50-point area spam, I don't think is particularly good because they're so slow and they have no ACM. I mean, payload is good, but they're like the Yak 38, right? You would look at them like, for the price, you got a pretty good payload, and then they just die because they're slow and have no ECM. If they were fast and have no ECM, that could work, like the J7s. I think if I wanted to play in spam, I do like Canada and the Freedom Fighters. That's fun. It's still not very good, but I feel like that's more fun than spamming Harriers. What else? I wonder what else for per card here? Nothing much, I think, in terms of bombers. These are also pretty horrible. Hold on a second. Is this really like 20 points more expensive than the Delphin? Purely because it's gun. Oh no, the G-Delphin is an HE bomber. Alright, I thought that. Not the. Yeah. Okay. I'll admit, man, today's a horrible day. Sorry for finding games, and apparently a horrible day for me talking. We have a lot more players online, but suddenly not even enough the rank games running. Oh yeah, the 30-point Delphins can go amazing. Like can go ham if you're playing like Red Airborne. They're amazing meat shields and cheap as well. You get many of them. They're cheap. It's very, very good. Oh, I dropped a few frames earlier. I replaced one card of Centurions with Anzac Leopard Ace-1. Maybe, the medium optics for 35 points. Very, very nice, for sure. Unless you mean the Ace-1 Plus, in which case, still quite a good tank, which might be good, might be worth doing. When it comes to the Ace-1, you use it like as a pseudo Recon tank, like a defensive Recon tank. But given that you have like so many cheap things in here, I don't think we need it. Ace-1 Plus, worth talking about. Worth running, maybe. Maybe it's even worth running to run the Leopard C2 instead of the C Maxes, C2 Maxes. And you know, in that case, it's 10 points more than the AS1 Plus, and it's, you know, worth that. I mean, the AS1 is fine. It's not really meant to go up against any tanks. It's meant to go up against IFVs, support infantry, low intensity flanks, deal with XA spam, stuff like that. Good enough for that. I think the issue is not the Leopard AS1. I think the issue is that, in general, with the exception of Commonwealth, I'd say, Recon units are just way too strong, and against those, this tank just struggles a lot. I think if Recon units were a tad weaker, or let's say a tad more expensive, like specifically stuff like M41A1, T55A, Isvidyach, you know, these kind of units, I think they're just too strong. Um, and that hurts units like this one, like these. I think that is one of the reasons why cheap tanks are just not used a whole lot, because almost all decks get an equivalent in the Recon tab that's just better. That is one big reason why tanks below like 80 points don't see a whole lot of play most of the time. I think, at least. Having better optics may no, but any Recon unit gets increased stealth on, like, automatically, essentially. I mean, the game isn't programmed to do that, but oh, hello. But Eugen gave every uh, Recon vehicle medium stealth. Extra you mean like as a concept? Yeah. Now I understand what you mean with that. Yeah, this is kind of silly. I think their argument is that they're generally like, you know, like the volcanic, right? Of like camo nets and whatnot. Concept like game, it's probably kind of stupid, but I don't think it's bad per se. I think what is bad is that, generally speaking, they're just too cheap. Just play 1991. That's what you could do, yeah. Didn't they didn't they put like helicopters and planes in the same tab and split up artillery and AA or something? Or did they reverse it? I don't know. I heard that they did that. I don't know if they went through with it. No clue. Alrighty. We're playing armored on a map that's probably not particularly good for this map, for this deck. We're playing armored, which is slow in and of itself, and Commonwealth, which is also slow in and of itself, so we get like double slowness, which is bad on a big map like this. Let's go for. I don't think we want to push Foxtrot, because that spawn is our spawn to Foxtrot. That route is just so long. I think we should push on the left side, because there we got Gulf as the secondary spawn. You only got 6-point tank space. I mean, there's a few good tanks, right? There's the base Abrams, there's the T80, like someone said, T72. Depending on the role, right? Let's just say on. Oh god, okay, let me build this first. Like, purely when it comes. It depends on the role as well. Because the thing with the M1 Abrams, or the T72A, is they're not really tanks meant for fighting other tanks, right? So at this point, are they truly tanks? I mean, of course they still are, but if you look at tanks that are also supposed to go up against other tanks, there are not that many, but there certainly are some. It's just that the few that there are, they're either like special in some way or another, like the M1 Abrams with like medium optics, 75 kmh, 15 front armor, right? 2 MGs, amazing tank for 65 points. T80, 9 RPM, full range kinetic gun with 13 front armor, all loaded, right? Also kind of unique in its sense. AMX 10 RCSB, I don't think I need to tell you why it's unique. So, how do we run? Do we run like 2-track rapier FSA and like a base rapier? Sure. Not something weird like that. I think we wanna. Do we wanna try pushing in there? I think it would be fun. We need 2 mortars. I don't have mortars, and why did nobody? Why did nobody tell me I have no mortars in my tank? Nobody told me I have no mortars. Well, I got the M108s, I guess. They're cheap. I think it's less than 12 seconds, right? What's the aim time on the M108? Isn't it 20? It is 20, so the smoke should be 10, right? Yep. Oh. Oh man, let's run 2 Mark IIs, shall we? We have like no meat shields. Alright, screw that, no 2 Mark IIs. Let's run oh, I still have points left for meat shields, never mind. Alright. I hate you. I hate you. That's not a bush, is it? No, it's not. If we can drive up there. Sometimes people are very defensive and, you know, ignore that part. Alright, I guess I'll have to use these 2 guys as mortars. You can save it behind. You not. I'll turn you off just in case. Drive in there. Scimitars. Like 2 in there, 2 in there. Scorpions. Run like 1 here, 1 there, 1 here. And then my... Did I make 2 in 15? 15. And then these boys drive there. What's that? It's a Cobra. A Lynx! Oh, that's ill. Okay. Big break, Blake. Quick. Cluster before it unloads. I lost it. Oh my god, please tell me they're dead. If so, it's still worth it. Oh boy, that's bad. No, they're not dead. Shit. Oh, it would have been so cool. Okay, stop and actually shoot, please. Oh god, that autocannon is so bad. I shouldn't be that close. I survived, bitch. Barely, but I survived. So did the Scorpion. Dude, look at that. Get back there. Oh my god. I could have gotten the GR7, but I think we've been too slow anyway. GR1 is 1000 kmh. I'm thinking it's like Moto? I think this is Moto. Let's not forget about these guys. Get into town, you actually need to sponge damage.
It always comes down to the infantryman and his rifle.
Right, Milan doing good work here. Get some commandos. Some of you guys. Look at these, you got 4 HE. smoke this off. More commandos. Be careful if you're going to get sighted by this ATGM. How many? Oh, you need 3 shots to kill this. Ugh. You suck. I didn't expect much and I still got disappointed. Admittedly, I'm half the cost, but still. Oh my god, look how long this scimitar needs to there you go. Bisons with Canadian Airborne.
Setting up a new AA position there.
God. Oh man. Kill this, please. Then go back. They have a good amount of range on their AT weapons. Oh god, what's this? Bisons. Well, nothing we can't solve with some commandos, I suppose.
Let's give them some iron.
Yep. Good chieftain. As long as you spot the AMX-10, should be doing fine against that. If we gotta deal with those ATGMs. Don't want our tracked rapiers to get sniped by that. Speaking of, let's get another one over here. So there might still be a bison there. Let's watch out. You ought to be able to roll over with ammo in the long run. Oh yeah, for sure. But they both missed. Get you out of there. Be careful, Icarus. Don't fly too close to the sun. Oh, now it is your war. Trust me.
Air defense ready. On the road again.
There's a Fastgamesjägare in there. Oh no, that's Jägare even.
Where do you want it to look?
More of these guys. Maybe I just need to use 10 times as many as I've been using before.
You'd be blind without us.
Neighbor 9, they're gonna struggle. What makes the commander so good? Primary or the MG? Okay, it's both. They got the best primary in the game. It's very unique, the primary. It's got the way too good stats. There used to be more infantry with this kind of stats on the primary, but it was before the standardization of carbines and such. They still got the old stats of that. And they got the best MG, of course. And the 20 points at the same time, while still having a very respectable AT weapon, right? Meaning they're not like useless versus IFVs or anything of that sort. It's a Recon, I think? Like a Maxus.
Waiting for your orders, sir.
The only downside is really their transports, and even then, the Aslev is actually is one of the best 10-point wheel transports in the game. It's just that they don't really have any options other than like basic transports, which is probably for the better. If they were in any other deck, definitely would have gotten to get nerfed, but because they are in Commonwealth or Anzac, okay. They don't. Get the CV in there. Scimitars out of ammo. It's on elite though. That's probably the one that shot at the Lynx. That's why it's out of ammo. Right, there's still the SAS, ASPS in there, I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, did everything die to the canning in there? Not surprising, given probably can just reverse against Scorpions. Look at me, I'm the motor player now. It's the MX-10. Oh my god, scimitars. Damn, taking a lot of damage there. Well, you're spotted. Get your bit back. Rotal, interesting. Oh, hello there. Shoot at this. Oh, don't. Oh, it must have been a side shot. I'm pretty sure the Ratel has one side armor. Two front armor for sure, but probably only one side armor, huh? Let's get some commandos in there and hopefully deal with us SBS. Maybe this isn't so bad after all. I just really would like a mortar, please. Instead of a new nation, Newton should add a map pack and a few new maps for ranked. I love it. Problem is, it doesn't sell well. And if you have people require that map pack to be able to play on this map, you're gonna split the player base. And if you don't have it required, then you're not gonna. Bottom line is, given the amount of effort they probably have to put in for making new maps, it just wouldn't be a financially good decision, I think. That's just also me guessing mostly. As far as I know or remember, making maps is actually quite a long process. Just commandos. Commandos everywhere. It is, but I mean, I agree. I would love new maps. And in fact, you wouldn't even have to make new maps. There's plenty of, like, 1 vs 1 or 2v2 maps or both you could make out of existing maps, right? As they have done before. How much effort that is in terms of like production stuff, no clue. But there's definitely maps to be made and created without the need of actually, designing proper maps and geography and all that. Did I not buy a new supply truck? I guess I didn't. That's a Kurnos.
Waiting for a target to fly by. And then... Anything for us, sir?
Oh, don't tell me you're gonna get out, you piece of shit. Okay, it didn't. I got a vet. But as you can see, no plane crash. I'm pretty sure it's still down.
Moving to position. Yes, sir. We're on the move. No way cuts down the infantryman and his rifle. Yes, sir.
Kapow. I'm gonna put you like back here for safety. Forgot about these guys. Bayern versus PSG. Or is this what, Champions League or whatnot? I don't care at all about football. And yes, I'm calling it football. Because that's what it is. There they are. I don't like that sport. Oh, that's not good. I'm dead. Oh, they still got stunned, but not fast enough. Honestly, there's only one sport I care about. And I can already hear the people being like, it's actually not a sport. Whatever. And that's F1. Whatever. You're still spotted. F1 snub. Oh yeah. Oh, you should be happy. You got Lewis Hamilton. Hey. Got George Russell. Lando Norris. Gurkha's 9 in there as well now. Am I make this please get line of sight? Mercedes is your team? Nah. I'm one of those 4 people who actually cheer for Ferrari. Yes, I hate myself. How could you tell? I mean, this year, I mean, but like, jokes aside, I mean, I sort of am rooting for Ferrari, and I do like Frédéric Vasseur, their new team principal. He seems like a fun dude. This year, there's no team where I'm really like, or driver. Well, actually, there's one driver, but no team where I'm like really like, oh yeah, definitely like I'm hoping for that team to be doing really well over all other teams. I went to last year, I was very much on the Sebastian Vettel train. Do love me some Vettel. This year, honestly, only Hülkenberg, really. I felt like he's a bit underrated. Of course, you know, he kind of squandered his own chances of a podium a couple of times. But I think he's like always been like somewhat of an underrated driver. Hoping he does well. Maybe he gets a very, very lucky podium this year. Who knows? Did I still not get supply? Come on, you can do it, commandos. Oh god, here we go. Any Renault Alpine Copers here? Dude, I'll be honest, I'm so hoping that we get good drama out of that. Because, you know, apparently Gasly and Ocon, they hate each other, right? So I really hope we're gonna see some spicy drama this year out of those two. Like, I'll be honest, right? Ocon seems kind of like a shit teammate to have in general. Like, when it comes to, like, on-track stuff at the very least. And given the fact that they apparently hate each other, that hopefully is gonna create some juicy drama. And honestly, I kind of like Gasly. Not a huge Ocon fan, but Gasly, I'm like, yeah, he seems cool. Um, Alonso is always also, I feel like, someone who you can always root for. Mr. Burning every bridge out there. Drive to Survive producers are salivating at a chance for Recon drama. Oh yeah, they are. Katsuragi. Oh, honestly, I'm not really too. I don't really know all like development drivers or like upcoming. I don't know, F2 and F3 drivers. I'm not really familiar with them at all. So I am unfortunately unfamiliar with that that specific individual. Unless this is this. There was this one young Asian. Girl, I don't know, maybe she just, I don't know how old she is. Like back then she was, I don't know, like 10 years old or something. Oh, it's a joke. Oh god. Oh god. Did I get, oh no, who's Katsuragi? No, please tell me it's just like some weep shit. Okay, it's some weep shit, I think. Genshin Impact? Huh? Oh well. There was this like this young, really young car driver. I think she was also Asian. Still too young for one, I'm almost certain. Like even like, I don't think she's driven in F2 or F3 or anything like that. Definitely not F2. Well, that's a lot of command Gurkhas. Time to nuke that shit. No. I like Hassan's F and NASCAR team as well. Haas are, well, Haas are Haas. They're their own breed, really.
It always comes down to the infantryman and his rifle.
Where did all my Centurions go? Oh, and those ones I got armored in the town.
It always comes down to the infantryman and his rifle. Spit it out now.
Oh, you're actually out of ammo?
The infantryman and his rifle. It always comes down to the infantryman and his rifle.
These commanders just wrecking them despite the knowledge they gotta be in the town. Oh god. Oh, that's such a good mortar strike. Let's have a check right here. Let's see. No. Oh my god. That was so stupid. Those are presumably empty. They almost certainly are the transports that came with the Norrlandsjägare. I don't even know what I'm calling you out for. Also, I haven't bought a single Fusilier in this game. Simply because we're playing against mode, right? So we don't really need them. I want to kill those Milan. Hope I don't get a side shot from here. Oh, rip my achievement. Oh, wait. Make sure we don't get our M103 destroyed right next to the Gurkhas, otherwise we'll be panicked. Oh yeah, I did get side shot there. Do you have two? Yeah, you do have two front armor.
Are you talking to me? I say the only good recce is a dead one. What can infantry do for you, sir? Hey, over.
It's a mortar. With fire and computer reset.
Someone need a guardian angel?
Two mortars. Yeah, one side armor.
Need to make drop.
Rip scimitar. You did well. And that's GG. Yeah, challengers and stuff are really hard to deal with for a deck like this. And if you don't get a good opener, playing against like the horde of armored spam can be really annoying. I think if the opener, oh yeah, oh, it was a baffled CV, not a Ratel CV. If the opener on our right side, like our opponent's opener on the right side, had gone better, just microed better, really, that's all that needed to be done, because I killed a lot of stuff with the million one there, right? And had me properly cut off from the bridge, game could have looked completely different. Because once you lose the right 2-pointer, it can be really difficult to come back. Before I do anything else though, mortar. Mortar, mortar, mortar. Is it at the top there? Yeah, there it is. I need a mortar. I need 3 activation points. Rude. Alright. Gonna be short one today. Gonna head up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not playing another one. It's really the only real match today. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I will do more armor though next time, I think. Red Dragon, Sweden, sure. And yeah. Thanks for still tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.